Early planted soybeans is the topic we're covering today. I'm Jamie Kloster, Seed Product Manager with WinField United. And today with me is Joe for a conversation. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, good morning, Jamie. Joe Rickard here, Crop Protection Product Manager for the Eastern Corn Belt for WinField United. Good morning.
We're going to be talking about, planting soybeans early. So when I think of planting soybeans early, I think the first thing to hit on, Joe, is what's the main reason that growers might want to consider planting soybeans early? And really, it comes down to yield potential. Planting soybeans early gives us increased yield potential versus planting soybeans later in the season. It does that a couple ways. If we think of, most soybeans planted in the United States are photoperiod sensitive, meaning the day length time triggers when the reproductive cycle kicks in soybean. So if we plant soybeans early, we're able to get more nodes on and have a bigger plant as that reproductive stages of soybean kicks in. And more nodes and a bigger plant usually means increased yield potential. Furthermore, planting soybeans early allows a grower to really take advantage of the full season and plant a full season maturity. Full season maturity products tend to have a higher yield potential than earlier season products. So in those two ways, planting early can really give a grower the best chance for maximum yield potential. But as we know, planting early is only one part of it. That alone does not give us enhanced yield potential. It's really getting the beans emerged early that gives us that increased yield potential. So what do you think are some of the best practices a grower needs to do to get those beans emerged early when we're planting early?
I think it really comes down to three practices in the back of my mind. And one is using a premium seed treatment like Warden CX2. So Warden CX2 is bringing the highest rate of mefenoxam labeled on soybeans that we can run. It also brings with it a new active on there, the picarbutriazox active piece or Viantis component, giving us better activity on Pythium Phytophthora species. So that really cool wet disease that we're going after, that Pythium component, really giving us better activity on there. And then the third piece, it's got Cruiser or thiamethoxam in it for that early season vigor component that you just mentioned, getting those beans up out of the ground, starting to photosynthesize a lot quicker when we use that seed treatment. So those three pieces within the seed care product. When we look at planting depth, that really comes into play as, whether guys have green, red, yellow, whatever equipment they have, getting that planter set up right will be key. And when you look at that on what is the key planting depth, what's the sweet spot? In my mind, the sweet spot really becomes 1.25 inches on soybeans. That 1.25 inches on soybeans is really the sweet spot that I really want to look at. And I kind of remember a saying here that the sins of the planter will haunt you all season long. So you only get one time to do this. So make sure that we're doing it right. Third thing that really comes into play here, and really kind of alluding back to what you just mentioned, Jamie, is the environment that we're going into. So not just throwing beans out there, making sure that we've got that right environment. And we've got within WinField United our seed stress map, our seed stress tool that really can kind of see what's that look like. It takes in soil moisture and soil temperature over the 30-year anomaly or that 30-year average that we look at. What's that all look like and component together? To kind of leave you with another piece that you look at and you mentioned on the reproductive time frame is leading back into the seed treatment piece is if I've got a good, healthy root system in June, I have the opportunity to have a healthy root system come August when we're making those beans foot long. If I have a compromised root system in June, there's no way that I'm going to have a healthy root system come August. So it kind of links all these puzzle pieces together. And those are some things that I've learned over the years in growing high yield soybeans with mentors of mine as we go forward. But those would be the three practices that I would want to key in on, Jamie.
Yeah, no, those sound great. And to kind of wrap things up, we also want to acknowledge that planting soybeans early doesn't come without some risk for the grower. So it's important probably to not only look at the weather forecast right before you're out planting to understand, what is that risk that's coming, but also to understand what are your insurance dates for your region, and maybe so far as understanding what are the replant programs of the seed company that you're putting that seed in the ground for. Good luck planting your soybeans early.
Thank you.